Okay, we're going to be replacing the front drive fluid. This front drive in the Polaris RZRs use demand drive fluid. You can get this at your local Polaris dealer. This takes you can get a full fill off of a single quart. And again, we're going to use the pump. And I'll kind of show you here. It's very difficult. You need a hose or either a funnel with a hose or a pump to get the fluid back in, at least to do it in a non-messy way. This one's a little easier to get to than the rear as far as the bottom. It's the drain plug is almost exposed on the bottom and there's a fill on the side. But we're going to get to it. I'm going to get a pump installed in this can and we'll get it changed out. Oh. Okay, we've got our pump installed. Again, I'll put a link to one of these in the description if you need one. I know that you can pick these up at, I've seen them at AutoZone or Riley's. Generally they have it. And what you're looking for is a pump that actually will do both the gallon and quart sizes. I think what's happening here is you're using the gallon connector and the quart extension on the bottom of this. They'll come with little tubes that you press up in. And that's what determines the height of the pickup tube in the bottle. I'm just going to get everything ready here. One thing I'll mention is that you just want to try to keep it as clean as possible. These blue rags work really well for keeping everything. A new surface. Both of the plugs in this are 8mm, and typically what I'll do is I'll break the top one loose. Not take it all the way out, just so that air can get in to let it drain a little faster, and then take out the bottom drain and let it drain into a pan. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that and we'll get this changed out. Okay, we've got the drain plug out. I'll show you kind of what it looks like. It's very similar to the back. This is fresh out of the gear case, and again you've got an O-ring and a magnet on the top. Kind of give you a close-up shot of that air if it'll focus of what it looks like coming out. Again, I had good fluid, no milky water mix, so that's a good sign. That's the main thing you want to look for. Your front diff should not have near as many metal particles. If you look at the prior video on the rear, you'll see kind of what the difference is. I did both of these on the same day, so they're basically got the same number of hours on them, just to kind of give you an idea of what they should look like. And that's typical of every time that I've ever changed one. And that's including the RZR 1800, even the 570. Okay, we got our drain plug back in, and just in case you needed to know where it's at, do as good a job as I can here. This is really difficult to film, but that is it. It's really easy to spot. It's just a few holes away, a little bit off-centered. On the skid plate it'll actually be left. It'll be the one that's kind of left justified on the skid plate. Real easy to get to. My drain pan fits underneath my RZR without having to lift the RZR. Now we have to get to the hard to get one. And it's on the passenger side, just next to the passenger side CV. You can kind of see the top of it there, but it's going to be right here. And you'll need a long extension. And again, having a pump and a tube makes it a lot easier to fill. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. And I'll go ahead and get this pumped full, and we're basically pumping it until it starts coming out. One thing I wanted to say, like I said on the previous video on the rear surface, is be mindful of the O-ring. Make sure that you put a little bit of oil on the O-ring and the threads before you thread it back in. And again, make sure you know what's in your fluid when it comes out. That's a really important determination, is if you have a leak or a problem, if water's got into your case. I'm going to go ahead and get this out and we'll finish this up here. Okay, we've got the fill plug for the front diff out. That's what it looks like. Same kind of deal. clean it off. It shouldn't be really that dirty, and make sure that if you can, replace the O-ring. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending on whether I'm out in the toy hauler. I don't have O-rings for these with me. Here at the shop I do. Just make sure that you put some oil and stuff on the O-ring before you replace it. We've got our pump ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and start pumping it full. And basically you just want to pump until it kind of starts running out, and then replace the fill, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, we got our front diff replaced. That's pretty much all the maintenance that I need to do for the upcoming 2018 season, other than just stuff that goes on. One thing, front diff's changed. I took it out for a quick spin. You're not going to notice much difference unless it was low to begin with. But this should be ready to go. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you have any comments, be sure to drop me a line. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks.